there guys, it's me Sarah from Sarah's Soul Search, broadcasting to you from my bedroom in America. So yeah, my exchange is over. I got back about a week and a half ago, and it was really hard, but it's good to be back for the most part. It's kind of weird. So today I'm going to be talking about reverse culture shock, which is something that I think future exchange students to be aware of, because going abroad really makes you aware of the differences between your host country and your home country, and those differences become really obvious when you actually come back to your home country. So on the way back, me and Carol were talking to our flight attendants and everyone sitting around us in Korean because we just wanted to get every single last drop of Korean instruction that we possibly could. And our flight attendant really appreciated that. He thought it was cute. But yeah. So then we step off the plane and all of a sudden we are in America. And it was so weird because there were all these different faces around me and no one was talking in Korean. It was really strange. And for some reason I kept feeling inclined to talk to Asian people in Korean, whether they were actually Korean or not. And it was just kind of my natural response. Like, when I was at the baggage claim waiting for Carol after we got off our flight, there was this, I guess he was Chinese man next to me, and I accidentally said something to him in Korean, and he was like, "What?" And I just realized, look, I really am in America now. Not every Asian is Korean. Not, like, there are people from all over the world at this airport, and it was just very, I don't know, it was just really weird, because in Korea, you're not used to seeing a whole lot of foreigners around, and when you do, you're like, hey! So yeah, it was kind of weird. And every time someone would answer their phone and say hello, I thought they would be talking to me, because in Korea, chances are if you hear the word hello in English spoken from like 10 miles away, they're probably talking to you, because chances are you're the only English speaking person in that 10-mile radius. So yeah, I kept thinking people were talking to me, turn around, like what? It was really weird. And the people at the airport, oh my god, compared to Korea, they were so rude. Like, everyone in Korea at the airport really wants to help you. They're very courteous and they speak to you very politely. And when me and Carol were trying to figure out where we were supposed to go after we got out of customs, this freaking lady came up to us. Oh my god, she was so rude. Can't believe she even did this. Y'all are setting off the alarm because you're standing still for too long, so y'all need to figure out where you're going. I said, well, she's getting on a plane, and she just interrupts me. That would never happen in Korea. Never. She's just like, well, she's supposed to go over there, you're supposed to go there. Bye. Bye. Like, what? What? This lady is literally just, like, almost pushing us in our respective directions. Me and Carol have just spent probably the most life-changing year of our lives together, and I'm trying to figure out how to say goodbye to her, and this lady is just being a total bad word. Oh my goodness, I was so upset. Honestly, I had thought a lot about saying goodbye to my friends in Korea, but I hadn't thought about saying goodbye to Carol, and it was a lot harder than I thought it would be. And that lady certainly did not make things much better. But anyway, so that happens, and I was kind of like, trying to figure out where my mom was, because she was waiting for me in California. And I finally saw her. It was so weird. Like, I was looking at my mom after not seeing her for almost 11 months. I was looking at my mom, and honestly, I was expecting her to cry, but then I started to cry when I met her, and it was really emotional, and I might post that video if you want me to, but yeah, so I have it on my phone. If you want me to post it, then let me know in the comments. So yeah, then after I met with my mom, after about 5 minutes, it almost felt like I hadn't left. It was kind of strange. It was just like, yeah, you're my mom! And then it was like, okay, I'm back. And it just felt like I had never left, which was really strange. Like, how quickly Korea became the past. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just really strange. Surprisingly, at first, the time difference didn't really kick my butt as much as it probably should have. We actually went back 7 hours in time when we landed in California. Our flight left at 4:30 p.m. and then we landed on the same day at 9:30 a.m. in California, which was strange because I hadn't really slept a whole lot on the plane. I slept in like 30-minute intervals. That was kind of okay. I went sightseeing a little bit with my mom, and by the time the By the time 9 o'clock rolled around, I was exhausted. I was so tired. But before we went back to our hotel for me to sleep, we went to this Thai restaurant, and another aspect of culture shock that happened was the portion sizes were humongous. I couldn't even finish half of what I was supposed to eat. It was just too big. I was like, what am I supposed to do with all this food? And everything was so expensive, and probably because of the enormous portion sizes, but still, like, in Korea you can probably get yourself a pretty decent meal at a halfway decent restaurant for like $5 to $6. But we were at this Thai restaurant. I think my meal cost like $12. It was, oh my goodness. And when we finally got back to my house after 2 more flights and a 3-hour delay in Texas, which I wanted to scream. You probably saw my post on Instagram. I was ready to lose my mind because jet lag and just general disillusionment with the whole American experience was just not settling very well with me. But I got back to my house and it was just so weird because I had actually only lived in this house for about 2 weeks before I left. So my room got changed while I was abroad, so I got to see my room for the first time. So you guys are seeing it basically 10 days after I got to see it for the first time, so congratulations. But yeah, everything seemed really big. I was used to living in an apartment for my entire exchange, and all of a sudden I'm in this huge house. Another kind of random thing that I had to get used to was replying to my American friends' text messages immediately. Because in Korea, if I got a message, I could just kind of not reply to it for a while and be like, oh, you know, the time difference, it messed me up. I didn't see that until recently because, I just didn't have time to reply to it. But nowadays, I don't have an excuse, so I have to reply to my friends' messages immediately. Which, I mean, it's not terrible, I'm not like crying over it, but it is just one random thing that I have to get used to. But the same things happen to me now when I text my Korean friends. Sometimes I won't get a reply for like 2 days, which is kind of sad, but I'm just glad to at least have Kakao Talk and Facebook and everything so that I can still talk to them at all. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Another random thing, I have to ask my parents now to go places, which, of course, when you're abroad, you don't have to ask your birth parents to go basically anywhere as long as it's not like an overnight trip or something that you need a lot of money for. And in Korea, my host parents are pretty lax. They basically let me go anywhere that I wanted as long as I was back by a decent hour and I was hanging around with reputable people. It wasn't really an issue for them if I wanted to go somewhere because I could always just take the bus or get a taxi if I wanted to go anywhere within the city. But in my town in America, there's no bus system and there's no taxi system, so if I want to go anywhere, I have to get a ride from my parents, which makes my life and my parents' lives a little bit more difficult because, you know, they're busy people, they have 4 kids, and I can't expect them to be able to drive me all the time to the places and people that I want to see. But I will be getting my license pretty soon, so hopefully that won't be a problem for very long. But trust me, it's not all gloom and doom for me right now. I have a lot of things to look forward to. Like, just this week, I started college, so yay, it's exciting. Here's a little story to keep you entertained on my long rant. Just yesterday, I was walking into the bookstore to find a French textbook that I was looking for. And while I'm putting my backpack in the little cubby by the door monitor actually stops me and he says, "Have you been to Korea?" And I was like, "Yes." And how does he know this about me? And then he says, "Are you Sarah Soul Search?" I was like, "Yes." He's like, "Oh my gosh." It was just so weird because, I mean, like, you see all these humongous YouTube channels such as, you know, Nigahiga, Jenna Marbles, PewDiePie, how do you even say that? And I understand if they get recognized just on the street. I've only been back for like a week and someone has recognized me from my YouTube channel, which is just, it just blows my mind that people around me, I mean, obviously not a whole lot of people, but there are people who have seen my videos and paid attention to them enough to recognize my face when I'm just walking into the store. So that was a really, really cool thing that happened since I got back. My mom also took me to a Korean grocer a couple days ago, which I really, really appreciated. It was really neat to get some of the Korean foods that I was really craving and to talk to the store owner in Korean. It was felt really good. I was almost afraid that I'd forgotten all my Korean. It was a little bit reassuring to know that I hadn't completely forgotten everything. And then today I also got to go to Buffalo Wild Wings with my old Taekwondo instructor from before I moved in. Honestly, without this guy, I don't think that I would have wanted to come to Korea at all. I used to live in a tiny town of about 1,000 people, and out of those 1,000 people, there was not a single Asian person, let alone a Korean. So he was basically my only exposure to Korean culture. So I'm really thankful to have had him in my life and to have had this amazing experience because of him and the other people at the studio. He also introduced me to some new interns from Korea, so we were all talking in Korean, and it was actually kind of weird. We were like gnawing on chicken wings and watching football and then talking in Korean. So it was a little bit random, but it was a really good time. I'm so glad that I got to go. And I will be starting up Taekwondo soon in my new town, which I'm really excited about because I love the sport and I just love the whole philosophy of Taekwondo. It really changed my life. It changed everything about me. So I'm definitely looking into getting involved in that here. Next year I'll hopefully be transferring to a university. I'm not going to tell you until I find out where I'm going to go, but hopefully I'll be majoring in international relations. I definitely want to go back to Korea in the professional realm. I'm also looking to get involved with an awesome organization called LINK, or Liberty in North Korea. You may have heard about them from Simon and Martina's channel. I think they're an amazing organization because they focus on the people of North Korea instead of the politics, which I believe is something that is so important for us Americans to understand. In North Korea, you got like a tiny ring of people who are doing all the political work and the military, who are ordering the military to do what they do. And then you've got the entire population of North Korea, which is something like 23 million people, who we don't hear about at all on the news, but they make up 99.9999999% of the population of that country. We as individuals and we as a country should definitely be focusing more on these people instead of getting ourselves all worked up about the activities of Kim Jong-un and his military. But I digress. Hopefully I haven't bored you with that spiel. So if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions about my channel, or my plans for the future, or anything else, feel free to leave me a comment in the comments section below. Send me an email at sarahsoulsearch@gmail.com. Send me a private message via YouTube. Give me a tweet at SEM_soulsearch. I'll write that down right here. And you can also follow me on Instagram at sarahsoulsearch, which is the exact same spelling as my YouTube channel, so hopefully that won't be a problem for any of you to find. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, or night. For me, it's 2 a.m. I hope to hear from you guys very soon. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye!
젊은 날의 사랑은 이렇게 끝이 나네요. 그대 꼭 행복해야 해요. 오랜 시간이 지나가도 우리 서로 기억해요. 그땐 서로가 있었음을. 서로가 있었음.